Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today we're doing our first mock draft of the year. I don't know what to expect. We're doing 12 teams, half-point PPR. I have the 6th pick. I gave myself a spot in the middle, which I don't know how I'm going to like this. And Jeff has 10th pick. The draft has started. Jonathan Taylor went 1. Henry went 2. Joe Mixon 3. Austin Eckler 4. Najee Harris 5. Leaves me on the clock. This is where I really got to decide. Do I like Christian McCaffrey? Do I like Dalvin Cook? What would I go with? Who do I feel comfortable with? It'll be Dalvin. I'm going to pick Dalvin. It was close.
Dalvin.
It was between Dalvin and McCaffrey for me. I like if I'm at 6 and I can get Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey. I love that.
Yeah, I mean that's great. I probably would have. Yeah, that's a tough pick. I was hoping Christian McCaffrey would have gotten to me. I'm at 10.
He went 8. Cooper Kupp went 7. McCaffrey went 8. Nick Chubb went 9. So this is our first time doing a mock draft this year. NFL draft's over. We have a better idea what's going on. We're on Fantasy Football Calculator. I'm not sure how well they'll have the rookies in here yet. If they'll have them properly ranked or not. To be honest, I don't think rookies are going to factor in a huge amount this year right now anyway. They're going to, at some point, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, but nothing too crazy. Did you get your pick in, Jeff?
So I went Javonte Williams. Right here, I was kind of like, I think I'm screwed at 10. I'm going to have to go 2 running backs in a row, and I try to figure out who was going to go first, who was going to go second. I thought about going DeAndre Swift. I still feel good about him, and he was able to come back around to me. So I'm gonna go with the 2 young guns.
Well, and Antonio Gibson just went before you. I'll take Antonio Gibson off the board every time. I'm not going to probably draft him in many situations.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, I don't feel great about taking Javonte Williams in the first round. It just happened to go that way. I was leaning towards Justin Jefferson, but I know in a 12-man league, all the running backs are going to be gone. So I kind of had to make a gut call. And this is one of them that I'll figure out as we go along. Being the first one, I kind of went for what I felt was, kind of a safer pick.
Yeah. So after you had picked Javonte, Justin Jefferson went, Alvin Kamara went, Devontae Adams, Antonio Gibson, you got Swift, and Kelsey, Allen, Tyreek Hill. I'm on the clock. Have some options. I'm going to go with a wide receiver. Actually, I'm going to pick Jamar Chase. I think that's a good spot for Jamar. I didn't love the running backs there. I think somebody decent will come back to me at that spot. So I will wait and see what happens. After I picked Jamar Chase, I went Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Mark Andrews, David Montgomery, DeAndre Hopkins. So good run on receivers. Zeke, Elliott, AJ Brown, Patrick Mahomes, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf. I'm back up.
Yes, and you have about 30 seconds to pick. You have a lot of cool guys you can choose from. And I'm not really going against you this time, so I'm just going to talk very freely. But first of all, you have
got one I'm picking. So
and you also have a Saquon Barkley if you wanted to take the shot on him. A lot of upside for a round 3 guy.
And that's where I'm going.
Yeah, I figured.
This is where I will take a chance on Saquon in the 3rd round for sure. All day. Saquon, 3rd round pick. Give me that. No. Give me that. So then after I picked, Aaron Jones went, Mike Evans went, Kyler Murray went, Jeff is back up on the clock.
Oh, wow. This went a very different way than I thought it was going to. And the question here becomes, I almost want to take a 3rd running back just because it's kind of falling that way.
Well, and the receivers that are there, it's like they're a lot of the same in a way.
And there's a lot of good, even there's quite a few running backs I like. I know that everyone, I was afraid of it last time. Now they really will. But I really did want to take my man, J.K. Dobbins. It's kind of a fan pick as well in round 3. I'm going to come back around really quick. And then I can start figuring out who I want. And so even wide receiver here, there's a lot of good guys. And I'd be very tempted to go Jalen Waddle because I like his upside. But I'm actually going to go for the upside at tight end because I know they go very quickly. I'm actually going to go Kyle Pitts because I know he's pretty much the only guy left there. So I'm going to
Kittle
go
had just gone.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that tight end, knowing that after that, it's kind of a wash. I believe Waller is left, Goddard, Hawkinson. So I like those guys, but I think Pitts is a little bit different than them.
Yeah, so after you had picked Dobbins originally, went Keenan Allen, Elijah Mitchell, George Kittle, T. Higgins, you picked Pitts, then Deontay Johnson, Jalen Waddle, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm up in the 4th. There's some options here. Running backs, there's some good ones, actually. There's some good receivers, too. But you know what? I think this guy's underrated, actually, here. I'm going to go Leonard Fournette. When he played, he was great last year. So as my 3rd running back, I'm good with that because actually Leonard Fournette is ranked ahead of Saquon in probably the expert consensus right now. Fournette is ahead of Saquon. So it's going to depend on what receiver gets left here for me. It's a big run. I was looking at getting my 2nd receiver, but after I picked Fournette, I went Damian Harris, but then Michael Thomas, Terry McLaurin, Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, then Justin Herbert, Travis Etienne, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore. I'm up. I should have. The receivers really dropped quick.
Yeah, I was going to say
I didn't expect that run, to be honest.
Because they also have it where we like Kelvin Ridley is technically the top ranked wide receiver. That's just something that happens this early in something like calculator.
So I'm just gonna. I don't love it, but I'll just pick Adam Thielen as a 2.
You got the safe pick.
Yeah, he seems safer. Once I went Fournette there, I knew if it wasn't going Fournette, I probably would have gone Michael Thomas. But I didn't. The run happened on running back, so that sometimes you got to deal with it. Yep. After I picked Thielen and went Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, Brandon Cooks, Jeff's back up. No receivers yet, so you probably have to go that route.
Yeah, I am going to go that route, and I am taking a stance here. I think this is a great place for him. I think he's probably a little bit lower than he should be, but I'm going to go Marquis Brown, getting traded to Arizona. Hopkins has got suspended. He's going to be the number 1 with Kyler for a while. I think that is a huge deal on him. I'm hoping that he pans out. I think he absolutely will. And then it comes back to me, and I'm immediately going to go back to the wide receiver well, and I'm going to go for another guy that upgrades at quarterback, and I'm going to go for Courtland Sutton. And all of a sudden, I feel incredibly good about where I'm at. And now I'm just looking to fill the depth as far as especially wide receiver. But who can I get that has huge upside? That is what I'm looking for right now, because I've kind of taken care of everything else. But Craig is up on the clock. And after I took Courtland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk went, then Robert Woods, and then Joe Burrow at QB. And Craig is up.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I'm just looking for best player I can find. I don't want to worry about too much if I should get another receiver. I think there's a lot of receivers. So what I'm going to do is pick another upside play. This will be Cam Akers. So Cam Akers as my 4th running back. I feel great about where I'm at running back right now. Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers. So after I picked Akers, it went Aaron Rodgers, Dallas Goedert, Rashad Penny, Devontae Smith, Michael Carter. So some of these, those guys with the rookies, it'll change. So it's early on for Fantasy Football Calculator. Stafford, Hawkinson, Pittman, Robinson, Mooney. I'm up again. 2, 4, 6. Was it 7th round?
I like the Darnell Mooney pick in the 7th round. I think that is very good because I don't believe in Justin Fields either, but I think he'll get his points, so he's going to be downgraded. I kind of like that.
There's a couple interesting plays here at wide receiver. Man. I'm going to pick Mike Williams. I'm going to hope that Mike Williams, the early season Mike Williams could return. It's a bit risky as my 3rd, but I still think there's some other guys behind him that I will like. So I'm going to take that chance right now and hope another guy maybe I feel is safer will come around to me. So after I picked Mike Williams, Miles Sanders went, Odell Beckham went, Kareem Hunt went. Now Jeff is up.
Ooh. And this is the part where, man, you're really just trying to figure out who is left and who you want to spend your draft capital on, because there's a lot of good guys and I only have 9 seconds left. And I know I'm redundant here, but once again, I'm going upside and I think he would be trade bait later on, even if it doesn't work out. So I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy.
He was on my board.
I know I already have Sutton, but at the same time, Russell Wilson being with both of them, they might both be able to be put in your lineup. And, at the same time, he won't be the last wide receiver I get. So I still feel
Judy was definitely on my my list of my players here that I was looking at. After you pick Judy, Allen Robinson went another one who was on my list. He's with the Rams now, which will be interesting to see how that plays out. Then Gronk went, if he comes back, I think Gronk's going to come back. I feel like if he wasn't, I feel like we'd already know. Jeff's up again. Oh, I missed a couple. Then there was also Hunter Renfrow and Russell Wilson went. Jeff is up again.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Another one that was there that I was looking at.
Yeah, he finished off the year really well. They got DJ Chark, but we're still waiting to see how he's going to play out. And then obviously you have the young gun and Jameson Williams that they drafted, but more than likely he's not going to be ready for the beginning of the year. So once again, I feel like he is a very solid pick, very young guy, still very tradable if I needed to. Just building that depth.
You pick St. Brown, then it went Chase Claypool, Dawson Knox, Jalen Hurts. I'm up. I am going to go receiver again. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman.
I literally just highlighted him. I was like, oh, that's
a good pick. I mean, they have to throw the ball somebody, right? Other than Mark Andrews. So Rashad Bateman, let's see if he can have a second year, breakout. After that went Sony Michel, who's now a Miami Dolphin. Miami Dolphins, they just have a million guys now. They have Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel, Myles Gaskin. So after that, it went Prescott, Chark, Singletary, Gordon, Freiermuth, Trey Lance, Tony Pollard, Darrell Henderson, Mike Gesicki. I'm up. I'm really punting on tight end here right now. I think I'm still going to. Quarterback. Ooh, a lot of quarterbacks have gone. I really was missing the boat there. You know what? I got mine. Let's go with Deshaun Watson and hope he doesn't get suspended for the whole year. Deshaun Watson. If he doesn't, that's a good play right there. So Deshaun Watson for me at quarterback. And plus, this is just a mock draft, so I can take that chance. That team could work out really well. Then after I picked Deshaun Watson with Gabe Davis, Chris Carson, Cordero Patterson, Jeff, I don't know if you've looked at the quarterbacks yet. You probably should.
They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Shoot, man, I really missed out. Luckily for me, look, the only guy I have to grab him now, but the only guy left that is worthwhile is Tom Brady. So I'm just going to grab him.
It was Brady or Watson. Those were the only two.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, that was literally it. That was all you could do there. So after Brady went, it was Ronald Jones, Van Jefferson, Michael Gallup, Chase Edmonds. Jeff's back up on the clock. Yeah, that was quarterbacks. Sometimes they go quicker. That's for sure. Now this is where it gets we get to start finding. I don't think they really have the rookies set yet in this draft, which is fine. I'm not worried about that.
They do not. I was looking for them and I was like, okay, whatever.
That's fine. I'm not worried about that yet. There will be. This is the kind of the time in the draft you might start looking at the rookies. I would say try to see what you could find there. But either way, I like to start looking for some upside at this point in the draft.
Yeah, and I did the same thing, and this is like a speed round. We're going so quick on this one, but I went with Juju Smith-Schuster. Once again, looking for high-end guys. He hasn't had a great last couple of seasons. He goes to KC. Can he be the guy? A 10th round pick? I'm definitely willing to find out.
Yep. So here we are in the 10th. I'm going to go. This is where I'm going to get some upside. It's maybe risky, but this is my 5th running back, Ramondre Stevenson. One of my guys I like the potential breakout on him. So I'm going to go Stevenson here, thinking, is he? There's a chance. I like getting him. I mean, this draft, you're getting him way, way beyond Damian Harris, and I don't think there's that big of a gap. There's 6-round difference in this, but I don't feel like there's that big of a gap in real life.
And there is not a lot of guys left. Anyone at running back.
No, but I'm going to go another upside play on my next pick. It's going to be Kadarius Toney. He's an interesting spot. It doesn't seem like him and the Giants are getting along great, but we saw that brief little 2 weeks spell where the dude was awesome. Like he can play. If he gets right and gets out there, he can play and be good. So Kadarius Toney, take a chance on him as my 5th receiver. So Jeff's back up. It's now getting to the point where it's really it's a lot of upside plays here.
And this is probably where I would take a young back. Obviously, if the rookies aren't in this bad boy, I have to kind of go around it. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am actually going to take a risk on a running back. I'm going with Marlon Mack. He's in Houston. They're going to be trying to figure out who the heck is going to run the ball. Him as a fourth running back is a calculated risk. I don't mind that one at all.
Yeah, so that really, he could be the guy. I like that pick. We don't know what it is at this point. Somebody picked Gaskin. Probably shouldn't. There's like 8 running backs there. McKissick, Cousins, Jacoby Myers, Jeff back on the clock. We are into the 12th in this 15-round draft.
There's some interesting guys that just have not panned out. Do I take a risk on them? You know what? This late in the draft, maybe it's throwing it away. I'm actually 12th round. I'm going to go ahead and throw Kenny Golladay on my team
and hope maybe he's healthy.
Yeah, if he's healthy, great. If he's not, then you can eat a 12th round pick. I don't mind that at all. It was either that or someone that isn't going to get quite the amount of balls thrown their way, even if they're healthy.
Yep. I'm happy. I waited on tight end, but I'm happy with how this is going to turn out because I'm going to pick Dalton Schultz. I like that as my tight end waiting this long. I think that's a solid tight end pick when you're waiting this long into the draft. So I like it. Now, next up, I might need to look at a quarterback because I have Deshaun Watson. If you pick Deshaun Watson, maybe you should pick another one. The problem is they're just not there. I'm looking, I should get a safe one. There's no safe option here.
Well,
there's Matt Ryan.
I was going to say Matt Ryan he's on Indianapolis. They'll probably be able to protect him a lot better. They have a run game.
Or is it Jameis with maybe Michael Thomas?
Yeah, and if Alvin Kamara is, whatever happens to him, he might have to sling the ball. I kind of actually like Jameis a little bit better.
I'm going to pick Jameis, and he'll be my backup here in case Deshaun gets suspended. So, and then we're going to be going into the 14th after Jeff's pick here, and then we get 2 last picks. I'm probably going to end it with a kicker and a defense just to do it right, because at this point there's a lot of potential out there. But I'll pick kicker and defense for my final 2 once we get there. This is a spot, Jeff, where you could go kicker or defense right now and get ahead of the group, get ahead of everybody.
It's usually what I do. I'm going to go ahead. Right now, kicker and defense, it doesn't really matter who you get, but I took Tucker and it's whatever. But usually I do that and then I have a Mr. Irrelevant on the 15th, which is not irrelevant. It's usually someone that's really buried deep. I'm not afraid anyone else is going to take him. And that's usually what I do. This is interesting how they have this lined up currently for defenses. I'm going to go with Buffalo's defense, even though they're not ranked number 1. I like them right now.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be up. I'll go with myself. I'll go get a kicker, I guess. I'll get Nick Folk because I used Nick Folk a lot last year. He seemed to get a lot of field goals for New England. So I'll stick with him. And then I'm going to turn around.
That's a good team for the kicker.
And then my defense is not going to really matter too much. One thing it will end up changing is once we're have a better idea of scheduling, who's playing who, I usually just end up going and picking like a good somebody that has a good matchup in week 1, right? That's what I'll end up trying to do typically. I don't even know who I'd want to pick right here. I don't even know who's good. I don't care. The Baltimore. Doesn't really matter. My defense will matter more on matchup. So there we go. There's my 15 picks, Jeff. And one last one here. Ended off probably some guy with some kind of potential at this point.
You will always be mine. McCole Hardman.
There you go.
We'll do it one more year. We'll find out.
There you go. Well, there we go. There's our first mock draft. It was a, fantasy football calculator really makes you do it quick. And it's very early, so not everything's set yet. But it's just a good feel, trying to get a feel for where some of these guys are going and trying to find out. This is really trying to find out where value is. And if this is how a draft's going to go, if I can get Saquon and Fournette in the 3rd and 4th round, give me that all day long. I will do that all day. And looking at it, I don't think that's terribly unrealistic. I don't know if David Montgomery goes ahead of Saquon like he did in this draft. That's one that I don't think would happen. Antonio Gibson, I think, is going to fall. But for the most part, it's probably Saquon's. He's going to be there for the taking in late 2nd, early 3rd. It's a risk. He's been hurt and plays for the Giants, but you're getting Saquon Barkley, with maybe your 3rd pick. I'll do that all day long.
Yeah. There's definitely guys to get. And I took young guys on on the 10th pick and then coming back around for the 14th. Mm-hmm. or 15th. The running backs that really interest me, one would be Saquon. Zeke is going to be another one that's falling. I was not a fan of his, but now seeing how far down he's falling, you're kind of like, well, he's kind of a value pick almost now.
He's going to be like a third rounder. He really is.
And the other running back that fell further than I thought, because you lose Devontae Adams. I like what they're doing. And yes, they do have a second running back that seems very capable, but Aaron Jones didn't go until the third round. That one kind of surprises me as well, where I would have no issue taking him in the second.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is really fallen down the ranks here. So that's what I'm looking at for this value. Maybe it's almost like, are we too late to it? And we're just going off name, but no, I don't think that's the case. I feel like these are good values.
Yeah. And Aaron Jones, whether or not you think he's lost a step, which I don't think we've seen that yet. I think people are just assuming he's going to get less of a workload. Losing Devontae Adams, you can't replace that. You have to believe that they're going to run the ball, and they've been able to run efficiently for quite a few years. So I don't see any reason not to go with him. I went J.K. Dobbins over Elijah Mitchell, and I'm willing to take that risk. But even Elijah Mitchell in the end of the third round, right, I think is great value, even though they did draft a couple of running backs. You don't know what's happened with Sermon, Trey Lance, I'm not a huge believer in, but you have to believe that he is going to be the guy there.
Well, if the rookies were in this, they're honestly not going to factor crazy. Breece Hall could jump into this fourth round area, I would think. Fournette went low in this, but I could see that happening. I think he's going to be a better value than he gets drafted. I like Fournette. Breece Hall, I see ranked 19th right now, which it puts him right behind like Saquon, Akers, Gibson, Montgomery, then Breece Hall. So he's actually ahead of Zeke right now. Breece Hall is in Fantasy Pros. You see, Zeke's becoming slightly underrated at 20.
Yeah. Go figure. I thought it would be more about this was months ago, but at the end of the last season, I thought it was going to be a hot take to downgrade him because he was still ranked like the 5th best running back. I realize that I'm sure I'm not alone as far as like podcasters that are saying, hey, his output wasn't sustainable. But this is ridiculous.
If you're getting him later, it starts again, like we said. I don't ever want to say for sure, do not draft somebody, because Zeke would have been somebody we would have said a couple moments, do not draft Zeke, right? But it all depends on where he starts falling.
Yeah, and if he is your second running back that you're getting, that's pretty darn good value. Is there anyone else on the board that you want to kind of point to and say, do you think that they were a good value or they're going too late right now?
So Cam Akers in the 6th, I don't think that's going to happen in a regular draft. He's going to go a round or two ahead of that. But that's the thing with Cam Akers is losing my headphones here. So Cam Akers didn't impress when he came back last year. And so I think that's actually hurt him in ranks, but he was coming off an Achilles and he came back in the same season. That is, there's no way he was going to be full strength. Because of that, it kind of like hurt his value a little bit, which is good. I like when stuff hurts people's value that shouldn't. So if Cam Akers right now in Fantasy Pros, he's 16th, I think that's a solid rank. Like I'll take Cam Akers as my, in this one, I got him as my 4th, which is crazy. But if he's going, and that was because I didn't get all these receivers, but Cam Akers is becoming slightly undervalued in my mind. Because I think he's still going to be the guy there. He was just coming off an Achilles. It's hard to come back from that right away.
Yeah. I would have a hard time drafting him, but you're absolutely, he's going to get first crack at it.
Yeah. And I've got him in the 6th. He's going to go more like the 4th, I think, at the worst case, I would think when it comes down to it. So I'll have a harder time drafting him there, but hey, I'd rather draft Cam Akers than I would Antonio Gibson or David Montgomery. So I don't know about you.
I'm not there with you on either of them.
I don't want any of those guys. I don't want Gibson or Montgomery. I don't want to touch those guys.
They wouldn't be my pick, but if they're I could see a situation if you pick wide receiver early, they're going to end up being like your number 2. But if they're my number 3,
I think Antonio Gibson. I think Antonio Gibson is going to be a massive bust.
Gibson will not.
Massive.
You would never be able to get Gibson as your number 3. He would have to be probably your 1 or maybe 2 if you're late.
No, he's dropping the ranks. He's down to 17th now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want any part of Antonio Gibson. Sorry, nothing.
Yeah, I agree because I think he's getting sandwiched with how he's going to be used, but I still think that the
But
once again, it'll be the value. If he keeps dropping, then I have no issue getting him.
In here, the David Montgomery thing's every year for me. So
yeah, he's always one like, unless they add someone. I just feel like I don't think they're special, but at the same time, he's going to get so many carries that he's going to be worthwhile.
So Josh Jacobs also gets underrated a lot. I mean, people don't like him. He wasn't great last year, but he's down to 21st right now in the Fantasy Pros ranks. That's way down there. It really is. We'll see, how it plays out. But yeah, there we go. All right, first mock draft in the books. That's the first of many. We'll be doing more, especially as the drafts get more accurate as people start doing them. It's a little early yet, but it was good practice. Try to get an idea of where people are going in these things. And yeah, I kind of like this one. If Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey are there for you in the middle of the first round, I like that. I like that much better than I did last year. That's the first six for me used to be like a dead spot. This year, if I could get a Dalvin Cook or a Christian McCaffrey at that point, shoot, I'll do that. I love that spot. So that definitely could.
There's a lot of upside with a lot of wide receivers. So I don't think there is going to be a dead spot in these drafts. I don't think there's that big of a fall off. There's a lot to get.
So, all right, there we go. That'll do it for today. Talk to you guys next time.